Well, listen, well, it's nice to see you, Pat. It's I forgot to say this last time, but it's Thursday, October 21st, 2021, and we are coming to you live from Florida and Texas, I believe. Well, I guess
I believe
assume
that's
you're
correct.
I assume you're in Texas.
I assume I am too. Let me look out the window. Can you tell? I don't know how to tell out there, but
Yeah,
I think I am.
I can't tell, but listen, Pat. So we don't forget it once we get into our spiel and stuff. You want to go ahead and do our coffee break early?
Oh
So
yeah,
to
I
say.
love coffee, Jeremy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's quite a bit earlier there. It's 8 o'clock here, and out west it's what, like 4 o'clock, I guess, in the
I think
afternoon.
I think it's 7.
It's seven, maybe it's
It's
seven.
7 o'clock p.m. in
But
the afternoon.
but let's go ahead and give a shout out to our Patreons, top 5 Patreons, or however many I get to, I suppose. We got Raptor, creatively spelled, Christina Kearney, Stuart Morrow, Brian Moses, Positive Waves, and Michael Sizer, who I believe lives in Canada. So who knows what time it is there? It might be
Could be
might-
tomorrow.
could be tomorrow. I don't really know. I mean, anyway, thanks to all of you for your support, and if you're listening, thanks so much for listening. And we're live today, so if you want to call in, the details are in the YouTube description. So just click the link. Got to use Chrome.
It's true. I
and,
could have wrote that in there if I was smarter and quicker.
Yeah, but
And if you're a crank caller, we're gonna hang up on you.
no, we're not. We actually love that kind of thing. We're not quite popular enough to have that. Pat, there was
Yes,
this
Jeremy.
so there was this radio host, and I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but his whole show was basically a crank call. He would play the host, and then he would play like several guests that just had these crazy ideas, and then people would call him just angry about how terrible his guest was about their crazy idea, and he would just mess with them the whole time.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, the guy was named well, he's still a guy. He's still Phil Hendry, but he just does it like on a podcast now. And obviously that doesn't really work when you're not on the radio, because people are kind of in on the joke.
Yeah,
So
they know. They're not
Yeah.
just tuning in by mistake.
yeah, I mean, and if you do tune in by mistake, and if you're offended by whatever we have to say, then do
Too
let us
bad.
know. Yeah. So Pat, what do we have to talk about today? I know we got a list, but I think
Well, I was going to tell you about this sound treatment I did in here, Jeremy, because I don't know which way to look or point, but I'm pretty excited. I hope I sound better.
yeah, I think so. I don't know. I just took it for granted how you sounded. I guess I just assumed that was your natural status.
I can only sound so good. This is, I mean, there's a limit. The bar is low for me, I imagine.
Well,
For
did
just
I
my voice that comes out of my mouth, not the room.
did I hear that you told your wife that you now sound as good as you look? Is that
I
Is that
did,
correct?
and she just laughed at me. She's probably still laughing
well? I
to
mean,
this day.
she decided to marry you, though. So I suppose it's
She did. We don't know why, though.
Well-
It doesn't make any sense, Jeremy.
well, that was nice of her, I suppose, and nice
It
of
was nice.
yeah, it was, and I'll say the same of my wife. So yeah,
you-
but anyway,
my-
this sound treatment.
Yeah, I have a friend who's an actual audio engineer by schooling, and he bought some of these. These are just panels from Amazon. There's a soft panel on top, and we glued them to I don't know the terminology. It's a denser panel, and he actually bought them for his office. But Jeremy's telling me I
let me
gotta
get a
wait
little
minute.
illustration.
Illustration. I don't want to get too far ahead without. Jeremy's got a sound panel there.
Yeah, so I hope I didn't cut you short there or whatever. But is
No,
this?
you're fine. That's
is
the
this-
right idea.
But it's got a hard backing on it. It's not flimsy
Well,
like this.
we added the hard backing. You buy them separate. There's about $50 worth of panels here between the two materials. We used a spray adhesive to glue them together.
Well, why did you need the hard backing exactly? Is that to hang them up on the
Well,
wall?
no, it's not really. I say it's hard. It's a denser foam, and my understanding from what he told me is the different densities absorb different frequencies of the words that are coming out of your mouth. And I'm rather deep, I think. So my understanding is I need the densest stuff that you can get. But he brought these over. We hung them up. He made me get my laser level out, Jeremy. And all the ones you can't see that are behind my desk, there's like 5 of them back here, are all perfectly in line. Then we put the laser level down and we hung all these that you can see. We just started putting them up. And
Just right. It's always the ones off screen that's perfect, of course.
yeah, they're absolutely perfect. So I might fix these up a little bit. But I thought, even when he did it, he does these, clapping his hands and stuff. I'm like, I don't hear the difference, Alex. What are you telling me here?
Yeah.
And then he left and I recorded myself, and I can't believe how much different it sounded. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of The Butter What Show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Butter What Show.
Well, that's great. Is he feel like taking a trip to Florida anytime soon? And
I can send him.
yeah, okay.
I'll call him up. We'll see if he can get on a plane or a boat or something. I don't know. Can you get there by boat?
I think so, because you got the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah.
Or you guys call it the Gulf of Texas, I guess, right? Is that?
Well, we should, you would think.
Yeah. But but yeah, you could take a boat, I guess. I don't think anybody does, but why not?
But I was telling Jeremy before the show that when we edit this episode, I'll get to decide whether my audio is better than Jeremy's or not. So you should leave a comment and let us know who sounds better.
Yeah, please do. Yeah,
usually Jeremy sounds so much better than I do. Like,
well, thank you. I suppose it's nice of you to say.
You're welcome.
One thing I was thinking of though, like with these panels, I have a few on my, just kind of stacked up on my walls and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've always struggled with how to actually mount them, because you can use a spray adhesive, but that seems kind of, a little shoddy, and then you got to take it off. And honestly, I've found that it kind of falls down when I've used it before on other things. So I was thinking
Do you want to know how I did these?
Sure.
One tiny nail pushed through each one near the top.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep, and they hold very, very well.
It's
more like they're closer to thumbtacks than nails. They're the smallest. Yeah, I had an assortment of nails, and I found the tiniest, thinnest. You could almost push them into the drywall with your thumb, almost.
So did you use spray adhesive as well, or not?
The spray adhesive is holding the foam that you have to the denser foam underneath.
Okay. Well, hey, it looks like we've got our first guest. Is that popping up in your screen as well, Pat?
It is. How are you, Alex?
There we go.
I have to move my screen a little bit here so I can see you. There we go.
I had to filter through some audio options there for the speaker.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Well, hey, this is Alex. Alex, which not the Alex that you were talking about, Pat. Although Alex does have a bit of audio knowledge, from my understanding. Is that correct?
I don't know if I'd call it knowledge so much as a series of mistakes that led to something.
Oh, that sounds like my life.
Yeah, well, that's cool. We're glad you called in, Alex. Alex actually, we say he does something about audio, but he actually did the intro music for this podcast. So you hear that, I think you did, you know how to sing it, right, Pat?
I've been learning how to sing it. I have been.
Yeah,
it's true.
I saw that.
I'm not a very musical person, though, Alex. I couldn't even carry a tune with a bucket, probably.
Okay.
But I do my best, and I have fun. That's all that.
Hey, I recognized it when I saw the video. Hey, that sounds familiar.
That means I did a good job.
Hey, and Alex, you were actually the first guest on this podcast ever. Isn't that right?
I think so.
Wow.
I think it was me.
That's pretty cool. Kind of neat to see things kind of come full circle. I know you had some stuff you wanted to talk about, but I guess just last couple of years, what have you been working on? I know you had some really interesting jobs, right? You're working as a contractor for some neat places.
Yes. So
and you're a electrical engineer, correct? Is that accurate, or?
Yeah, by now it's not formal, but my title is actually software engineer by
Okay.
now. But yes, electrical was my real background in school and stuff.
Okay.
But to when we parted ways, you and I worked at the same company, and then I left there and went and worked for this contracting company. And my first job, I went out to the Gigafactory in Reno and started doing stuff for the battery tech there. That was it's pretty nuts. We were producing, by the time I left,
And
we were doing 450,000
the Gigafactory,
battery cans.
the Gigafactory, that's Tesla's operation,
Yes.
correct? Okay.
Yes.
So,
Yeah, we were doing like 450,000 cans in 12 hours. Cans are what they call battery casings.
okay.
There's little like vape-sized batteries, lithium ions.
So you were in, you said Reno, is that right? Or,
Yes.
okay.
That's not an
Exactly.
18. I was looking for an 18650, and this is the closest thing I have nearby. It's the glue stick from my 3D printer that I use every
pretty
once
good.
in a while.
So wait, these are actually 18650 cells, like about that size? Is that, or it's,
It's almost identical. I have a thing here that's really similar in size. It's a 3D printed thing one of my colleagues gave me. I'd say it's almost exactly this diameter, but probably twice the height. So it's a little bigger, but not by a lot. They would use like 3,000 of them in a single car battery.
okay.
The new ones are like,
So
they're 21700s or something, aren't they? What? I
I
don't
was
know.
2018 when I was there. I have no idea what they're doing by now.
Yeah,
But they make batteries for the power walls and the actual Tesla cars, correct? Is that kind
Yes.
of okay? Very cool.
Yes.
So was that as what could I say? Not cutthroat, maybe that's not the word, but was that a lot of work as the reputation would have it?
was your job
It
a
was-
lot of work? Is what Jeremy wants to know. Legit?
How easy? If I decided to go to work, go
Like,
to
was
work
it
for
9
somebody
to
else,
5, or do you just come in at 2 and leave at 3? And
yeah,
Yeah,
what would you say you do here?
it wasn't as bad as the horror stories you hear. You hear some really bad ones. It wasn't that bad. 50-hour weeks were the standard, and then you start going higher than that when there's really crunch times on new feature deliveries. The series of machines we worked on, it was 11 machines connected in series from the actual place where they do the process where they shape the can from a little sheet of steel all the way to the end where it's in a little bucket where it goes in for inspection.
Wow, that's awesome. And so you worked there for about a year or so. Is that accurate? And then
Yeah.
I know you were working on some automated automated warehouse stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right now, I'm still with the same company. We are building these things. It's an entire system. It's a warehouse management system, but it's also we have interconnected devices that have like a LiDAR map of the facility, so you can kind of tell them where they need to go to make picks and places and stuff like this. And then the warehouse management system, which is what I'm working on, we are in charge of kind of like picking where it goes. So it can be three-dimensional storage. Like the thing we're working on right now is paper. So it's these like 8-ton rolls of paper, and they can stack 3 high. So you'll see this thing come in there, and the arm will extend like it's like that's not gonna work. That's gonna break.
But these are actually like forklifts that just work by themselves with no humans doing anything.
Yeah,
That's
and it
pretty
looks
awesome.
even. It doesn't look how you think too, because you're used to something that like doesn't have a human driver's seat, but this one does, and the wheel turns and everything. So it's like a
Knight
person
Rider.
can get in. Yeah. So just in case something happens during the process, a person can jump in and just take over. That way, the production doesn't stop.
Oh,
This is amazing because in high school, one of my friends, his father drove the forklift that drove the giant rolls of toilet paper at Procter and Gamble. That they moved a big giant, I don't know how big it was, big enough that you couldn't see through it past the forklift, and then they turned that into small rolls somehow.
man, he would have been like the man a year ago. I mean,
Well, he would have got automated out,
Oh yeah.
right?
Well, I'm just saying when people were like, begging for toilet paper, they'd like, yeah.
Yeah,
But
I remember this.
yeah,
It's wild.
so long ago. No, but yeah. So everything's been going well in your life, Alex. Everything.
Yeah. Weirdly enough, I somehow transitioned from where I was, opening and closing clamps on the production floor on machines, and now it's I'm building stuff in Angular JS for the web.
Wow.
Yeah, my responsibility in the warehouse management system is UI development.
Okay.
So I don't really do a whole lot as far as like deciding which palette I'm going to pick and stuff like that. It's mostly just giving the interfaces to and displays of data and stuff like that.
Wow, that's awesome. Well,
It worked out. I like it.
yeah, cool. Well, now you have something else you're working on that you wanted to kind of talk about, right? Something
Yes.
software related?
Yeah, it's a little pet project of mine. I don't. Have you ever used TikTok?
No.
I-
So you know, first of all, why don't you tell us what TikTok is? Because I
I've
don't,
watched TikTok videos on Imager a lot when they go by. So I just get filtered to the very funniest stuff.
So yeah, my understanding of TikTok is it's owned by the, I don't know. I shouldn't say anything too controversial, I guess. Anyway, why don't you tell us what TikTok is and how you like to use it, first of all?
So, sure. It's a content creator platform. Pretty much, in my opinion, a copy of Vine, like an unapologetic copy of Vine, but wonderful. The algorithm is a little bit better than Vine was. So if you're willing to commit the time, you end up with a feed that is kind of pleasing. You don't get the same old song and dance. If you dislike something that's kind of irritating, it doesn't really. They do a good job. It doesn't show up anymore, which can create echo chambers. But for someone like me, I'm not going there for political ideas or anything like that. I'm going there for comedy and like cool manufacturing processes. There's tons of content on there. It's unreal what people like. I'm pretty sure there's enough videos on there you could learn to build an entire house. I have so much stuff for construction on there. But the app.
But basically, so it just gives you a stream of videos, like one video after another that show you things that you're kind of interested in. So it's not so
That's
much
exactly right.
you don't want so much search for something that is just like, okay, this is cool, and you think this is cool, and it gives you more and more of that. Is that accurate?
Yes, and that fits for my personality type because oftentimes when I want to do a leisure activity, I either know exactly what I want or I have no clue. So this is nice for those moments where I have no clue because it just puts it there and I'm like, hey, I liked that. Cool, like it.
Nice. So, and you've developed something for this platform that, people younger than me and Pat, perhaps they know about this, but
Yeah. So I built a little app, and one of the issues with TikTok is if you like something, and it's really worth saving. There's music and tutorials and stuff on there that's really worth a rewatch, even though they condense it down to like 3 minutes. You cannot find it. If you have a series of liked videos, by the time, like, let's say 2 months has passed, you will spend an hour looking for that because you can't remember what the thumbnail looks like, and it's just not very searchable. So my initial inspiration was I wanted to be able to find this via tags, but then I even created an additional part of the app now where I can create like a playlist. So I can take a TikTok from somebody else, save the link, load it into a page, and then it's essentially shareable. And I can share this playlist with other people, and they never even have to go to TikTok. It's all embeds.
Nice. Yeah, I checked out your site. It's not knowing anything about TikTok, I guess I don't have much context, but that's sorry that
It's very niche.
no, but it is amazing how many it's like, oh, that's pretty cool that process that they're doing. So TikTok, there's no way to easily save a video that you've watched for later use,
Well,
or it's just kind of hard.
It's the frequency. It's unlike YouTube, right? When you watch a YouTube video, it's 10 minutes. That's kind of short. They have the shorter ones usually, but that doesn't show up for me too often. Probably 7 minutes or so is about the shortest I get. So the volume of liked videos is much smaller. But with TikTok, they're 10 seconds. I mean, in one day you can add 30 likes to your catalog. So I mean, seriously, over a month, it's unfindable.
That's 900. And that's just a month.
Yes, it's unreal. Like I have a stats monitor on my app, and I've already added 2,700 tags. And that sounds like I'm on there all the time, but that's really just casual use day to day.
Oh, so you're actually,
you add
you're
5
actually
or 6 tags.
tagging these videos. So you don't necessarily say, okay, this is you don't have a list of all your videos. You have a tag. It's like, okay, manufacturing, soccer. Yeah, I don't know, whatever. You can tag them
Exactly.
with different things.
Yeah, a memorable one I recently did was honk honk donkey, because the lady she's a homesteader. It's so funny because she doesn't claim to know what she's doing, but she's just going out there and homesteading, and someone told her in her comments she needs a donkey to protect her crops, or her livestock, and she was like, a donkey, like a honk honk donkey. So I just honk honk donkey. It's in my tags list now.
Well, yeah, because you'd think like the traditional wisdom would be to get a dog, but I guess that's not the
Yeah.
I guess that's not the solution. I don't know.
I don't know exactly what the benefits of the donkey is over a dog, other than its size.
Like
They're
like
a
a
fair amount heavier.
like a woof woof dog.
Yes.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption taught me that you can ride a donkey like a horse if you have to. So maybe
Yes.
maybe they have quite a bit of utility.
That's
That
what
thing
that
seems
song
like
was
all
about,
purpose.
Pat. Haven't you heard that? Anyway, so
Are you talking about a genuine song? Now I'm legitimately curious.
I don't know. I feel like if we were not live, I could just edit this out and we could talk about it, but because I make these references sometimes to Pat of these obscure rap references that I don't know, and nobody would really get it, to be honest, Pat.
All,
So it's
all
not.
the rap I know is either the Beastie Boys or anything I've heard in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Whatever's on the radio station there. I mean, I've heard that a lot. But if it's
Yeah.
outside of that, I'm probably pretty ignorant.
No, I'm fairly ignorant too, but there was there was a slice between the late 90s and early 2000s when
You were cool.
I wasn't ever cool, but you know, I was talking to somebody. Actually, it was a guest we had on a long time ago. It was Pocket, actually, and I said I was never cool, but at least at some point I had like some context. Now I just like,
You weren't cool, but you knew what was cool.
well, yeah, because it was like what's that store in the mall that like it looks like a beach cabana or something. Not Abercrombie and Fitch. The one that seems even cooler than that. Not that that's not cool, but
Hollister.
Hollister. Yeah, because I just remember being in my 20s and thinking I'm not cool enough to go in there, and
They see you come in and they point and they say no.
yeah, I mean maybe it wasn't
Bad.
it was whatever
Go.
one was. It's kind of like dark inside, and I was like, what's up with that? That's for somebody else, I guess. But I think it was fairly expensive too.
Yeah,
So-
I was
remember
gonna
going-
joke and say that was Spencer Gifts that you're talking about, and I know it isn't. But I learned, this is off topic a little bit, but I learned just last week that those Halloween stores that pop up every October, they're all owned by Spencer's.
Really?
Genius.
Yeah, I had no idea. No,
That's interesting.
Yeah,
How do they do that where they somehow have a building, just like a random building that closed down sometime during the year? It's like, oh, hey, that's a Halloween store now.
it is.
How does that happen?
Yeah, magic. Magic. I wonder how much it
Halloween
costs to
magic.
rent a store for a month. And
I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know,
God,
Pat.
you
but
decorate
break
it.
in.
You could have
then you have Home Depot just comes out. They say, forget you guys. We're just going to sell a 25-foot skeleton over here. So you don't need that store anymore. That,
I mean, yeah, Pat, I guess you could rent that out and you could put your helicopter simulator on there and you could have people, it could be like a prize. Like if you can land the helicopter,
win a 25-foot skeleton.
then you win a 25 skeleton. And if not, then I don't know. Maybe you shoot them with a paintball gun or something. I don't know. A little bit of actual danger.
Yeah. I do not want to get shot with a paintball gun.
No, I've been shot with a paintball gun before.
Me
That's
too.
not,
I didn't like it.
I didn't like it much
I don't
either.
want to do it again.
We're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, once was enough. Sometimes
So-
we learn our lesson.
Yeah, so if you're watching this is what the show devolves to when we're actually live. Apparently,
I think we're doing a good job.
no, we are doing a good job. I think.
And I did not get shot with a paintball gun.
Yeah,
There's nobody here in my studio.
I
Can I call
was
this the
telling,
studio
Oh, hey.
now?
sure.
Okay.